Hey guys, how is everyone doing? Welcome back to Biblio Fitness. Hope everyone had a great weekend. It's still a gorgeous day. I'm still recovering slightly from my sickness, like an idiot. I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how I got sick. I think it was probably the cold. Who knows? But I think I'm getting better. But as you could probably hear, I'm still dealing with sinuses and shit. So today I'm going to keep expanding on some of the previous shit I've been talking about, not like stoicism, but the state and the elites, and like I've rambled on a little bit about that. So one of the thoughts that really started popping into my head and is that, like, from very early on, in my opinion, like the way I see it, obviously this is my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a fucking historian. I'm not, on that level or anything. This is just what I've read and what I've, how I've processed the information and try to connect everything together. I really do start to believe that from very early on, the state became nothing more than the functioning arm of the elite, and we don't really try to admit that reality or admit that aspect of reality, because like you can't blurt it out like that, obviously, because then you lose the cohesion, therefore the effectiveness of having a state, of having a group of people willing to defend themselves with you and grow, and countless other things that you could do with such a organization of people. Because if you see throughout history, the rhetoric has always been the same, and it's basically a lie. Like, it's always a casus belli. It's always like, oh, this person slighted the country by doing this, or they murdered the king, or they did obviously invasions are a completely different story, but a lot of the claims to even start a war sometimes are completely bogus. And the people who make that decision are the ones in power, right? And a lot of times it's supposedly elected, but not really. And same thing with the state, like a monarchy. When, like, a monarchy, the people don't have a say in what is going on. What's happening. Like why are we going to war? Who are we going to war with? Who are our allies? Like, we have no say in this. We allow someone else to dictate that for us. And so what I'm going with that is like, I don't know if it's an obvious thing, but like, state to me really is nothing more than a functioning arm of the elite. Like, to use that use us as like the cannon fodder to further advance their own personal prerogatives. I mean, it's shown all the time. Like, you see Rome, for example, the plebeians really had to fight tooth and nail for every single right. The tribune, the office of the tribune, and the assembly, and I forgot the name of the election. I forgot the name of the election for them. It was specific, not with the tribes, but it was something else. I forgot right now. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's everywhere, and it's always. You see a history like, like there's always has to be a just cause for that. But it's just a table. It's just a talk with the powerful. Like, it really is. Like, we never have a say. We never have an opportunity to dictate things. Like, they're the ones that are going to write the history books anyways. They're the ones that dictate how the state functions and how the state works. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because it seems like an ever occurring phenomenon. And I know that the way I'm speaking about it makes me sound like a class reductionist or some shit like that. But I'm not really trying to say that. I'm not trying to put it in that context either. I'm not trying to oversimplify human history. But a lot of times it really is that way. We don't... It's just interesting because sometimes you see people making, like, we always treat everything as an isolated event due to us being finite creatures ourselves, obviously, but this dynamic and this conflict is ever present, and it's very, and we never seem to get on top of it. We never seem to really make a defining victory like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, more people are able to access that level of wealth and power and influence, that's for damn sure, but it's still a very minuscule percentage of the population. And even then, I feel like there's barriers, like invisible barriers that you can't get through unless you're connected, you know. Like, you could be one of the greatest entrepreneurs, but I feel like, like there's like levels to this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you can get in on the table with people like the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers or fucking, or the DuPonts, or like, or the Kennedys. And there's like the families that are like really deep in, like, the aristocrats of the aristocrats nowadays, I guess, the royal family. But I always see that shit, and just history really is a conflict among a bunch of people with overinflated egos. And a lot of times we go to war is just stupid and pointless. And for, like, First World War, for one guy getting assassinated, millions and millions and millions of people will suffer for that. Like, that doesn't sound reasonable at all. No, does it? Or the Iraq War, I know we didn't lose a whole lot of people, but for these fucking jackasses just to fucking grab a hold of the oil in another country, it doesn't seem like a justifiable reason to go now, does it? And we never really have a say. Like, I don't think votes here in the United States are legit anyways. I'm not much of a skeptic at this point. Like, not even a skeptic, I'm not the only one that holds his opinion. A lot of people that are more respected scholars, such as I, also have that belief as well. Like, if you want to know where politics are going, you just have to look at where the money's at. And that's just really how it is. Whoever has the money has the votes, and whoever has the votes has the power, obviously. So, and that was how even the American Constitution was originally constructed. So like, and considering the conflict, like, between the plebeians and the patricians, just to keep it Roman because they're awesome, is this an integral part of human history? Like, is this the whole winners and losers concept magnified to a population size like the ones that we've reached? Is that what it is? Like a disproportionate amount of success of predators against a disproportionate amount of prey. Obviously, that doesn't really make any sense, and I know that sounds fucked up, but like the winners and the losers, or the prey and the birds, or the animals of prey, and stuff like that. So, and it's always happening, and it's always happening. It's always the banners, the messaging may change, but for the most part, it stays the same. And we'll just see how it goes. I don't. No one says this. It's crazy. Like it's like an accepted fact, but we don't want to talk about it. It's quite interesting. We don't want to talk about it because it's. It's not a very nice picture to look at, But that's it for today. I don't want to strain my throat anymore. As you can tell, I'm already coughed. So I'll see y'all next time. Hope everyone's making gains, and peace.